All right, Josh Addo-Carr, here's the story, isn't it? He stood himself down from the Bulldogs elimination final after a roadside drug test revealed what police called a positive indication for cocaine. Now, it had been a case of mixed messages, with Bulldogs General Manager Phil Gould initially using social media to deny any positive test. Here's how he explained the change of story.
Josh vehemently defends himself here and his innocence in this matter, that as far as he's concerned, he's done nothing wrong, that he's taken no drugs. I don't think he's deliberately misled me or lied to me. Probably didn't give me the whole version of what had happened there on the night, which I now have at my disposal. And it was kind of like, it was pretty dismissive. I said, well, what's the problem? I said, have you been booked? He said, no. I said, you go to the police station? He said, no. I said, have you been charged? He said, no. I said, was it positive? He said, no. And I said, well, did you drive the car away? He said, yeah. I said, well, what are you worrying about? Nothing, I just wanted to let you know. That's how it was. And that's why by Monday I'd forgotten about it, until Josh rang me and said he was starting to get some calls about rumours yesterday, and it sort of escalated yesterday afternoon. Probably more after my tweet than anything, but...
His tweet certainly did liven things up.
That had real vibes of, a partner trying to explain what their partner told them where they were the night before. It just kept rambling, and there wasn't really kind of like... I don't think he's fully feeling confident in any of the stories.
No. Brandy, look, it's going to be tough for the Bulldogs and tough for Josh Addo-Carr, because there's a waiting game for him now, isn't it? He's stood down for the moment. Now, he will have to wait for that test.
And it could take a couple of weeks,
so it could take,
apparently.
Absolutely, it could take a couple of weeks. So until then...
You wouldn't think that he would return to the side until then. I wouldn't think. And obviously now we've found out that what Josh told Gus wasn't right, because there was a positive indication. And the fluid that's been sent off to be tested again, I guess everyone waits for that to see whether whether it's positive or negative.
Yeah. The question was being asked around, it was why was he allowed to drive home, which would have been an indication that, everything was above board and tickety-boo. But according to the police I've spoken to today, and through the media has then sent out to me, so he had that first initial, the drug wipe, which had the positive indicator. That then led to the fluid, the oral fluid sample, which now, as of only recent weeks, can be done, that test can be done at the scene, in the car or in the van. So that then goes off for analysis. It's then supposed to be a second wipe test, but at that stage the police had to go off to an emergency of an attempted home invasion, so that the second test wasn't done and he was allowed to go home. So far as that looks like, he has to wait till that sample is analysed, and then we'll know what happens. Poor timing all around, really, with the launch of the finals.
Dogs playing their first final series for many years.
Yeah.
They've gone through a couple of tough losses coming into the finals, so they're not on a roll, momentum, and then they've got to deal with this story. But they've got some good outside backs, so.
And it is a great story, them being back in the finals. They'll play at a core with, what, 50,000 people?
You'd hope so. You'd hope you get 50 there, yeah. They played Manly there a fortnight ago, and they'll play Manly again this weekend, on Sunday.
What about Nathan? Nathan Cleary comes back, as we can see there, the Panthers and the Roosters, huge game on Friday night. The Panthers have the wood on, the Roosters have had for some time now. But Nathan is coming back from that shoulder injury that's kept him out for weeks now. Have you spoken to him? Do you know where he's at?
I did, yeah, and he's going to line up. He'll play, so which is fantastic. Missed the last 3 weeks of the regular season, played a couple of weeks. That was after returning from a hamstring injury, which kept him out for about 8 to 10. So he hasn't played much footy, and I think the side that Penrith have named is the best side they've had for the second half of the season. I'm pretty sure Dylan Edwards has been out while Nathan returned, so they haven't all been together for the second half of the season. So when you look at the Penrith side coming into this Roosters game, it's the best side they've named for the second half of the season. And I'm hoping that the players look at that and go, right, that's where we mean business.
The Roosters have a shocking record against Panthers and Melbourne. Do you give them a chance in this game?
When the Roosters still pack a great side, like even though Sam Walker's not there and Victor Radley won't be there, there's still James Tedesco, who has had a great season. Joey Manu is there. Luke Keary is there. They've still got some very good forwards and possibly, the form back rower of the competition, Angus Crichton. So they still have a pretty stacked side, even with those injuries.
You mentioned Angus Crichton. There's a lot of talk that he'll be running straight at Nathan and that shoulder and testing it out.
I'm sure he will.
Regularly.
I'm sure he will. But, sides can get in a little bit of trouble if they're trying to find someone to run at. And I think, that was certainly the case for the Roosters. When Cooper Cronk had the shoulder that needed surgery.
Yep.
And Melbourne tried to find him all night and they couldn't find him. That might have distracted them. So I don't think the Roosters will tumble into that trap of trying to find Nathan. But when they do find him, I'm sure they'll test it out.
Love it. The Panthers had their retro jersey on Saturday night, which obviously left referee Chris Butler confused. Have a listen.
Matty, we've got a captain's challenge. On-field ruling, it's knocked back Manly and then knocked on Titans on the ground.
Well, if Manly have knocked on that, well, this is something to see.
Well, that was me too. And Dan Ganane, who called that game, said yes, that would be something to see, but in fact, Manly.
There is a hint, I guess, over the strip.
Do you think?
Not really. That throwback jersey, though, isn't a patch on the real Chocolate Soldiers jersey. There it is. Look at that. There's the young Greg Alexander. Look at him.
Oh, brown and white.
How old were you there?
Oh, boy, I don't know what year that is.
It's 1984.
Well, I was 18.
Yeah.
18.
Wow.
18. Is that John Cartwright behind you there? It was?
No, Ken Wolfe.
Ken Wolfe.
Kenny Wolfe, yes, the great Ken Wolfe.
Oh, there he is. All right, I love it. You want to make an early impact when you come on from the bench in any sport. Well, Daniel Atkinson had to wait roughly 10 seconds. There he goes, his first time off the board. In comes the ball through here, and here is the man on the spot, and plonk. Try.
How good.
10 seconds.
Yeah. He's had a good year, Daniel
he's
Atkinson,
great.
and that's why he's still in the side. The Sharks have primarily all year played a forward bench.
Yeah.
But Atkinson's form has been so good. Nico's come back, but Dan Atkinson deserves a spot in the team. And he's
attitude and energy. He's
very good.
Really good. That was a much more positive impact than this bloke who was desperate to get on in a football game. He comes on, super sub, looking terrific, and bang, no, I'm out.
That's something that would happen to me, I think, where I sort of think, I might actually, play one game of footy, bang.
It's
Sorry,
all
boss.
over. The Wallabies led at half-time against Argentina, then somehow got beaten 67-27, conceding the most points ever by a Wallabies team. Let's not talk about that. They could have used Mark Nawaqanituazi, who made a brilliant code-swapping debut for the Roosters. He looks good. He's had 3, I think, New South Wales Cup games and impressed, and then he goes and does that for his first try.
fantastic, very athletic, bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah.
6'4", giant of a man,
Yeah.
and very athletic and did
I
some...
love that. Then you've got Nawaqanituazi.
There's 15 of them there, yeah.
They're all there. If you have the letter A on you, it's terrific because you can be social. You can be in 5 places in his name.